This story is a Balinese folk tale passed on to us by Margaret Reed MacDonald. It's called Gecko Cannot Sleep. And the chief was awakened in the middle of the night by a loud noise outside his window. Gecko, gecko, gecko. The chief got up and looked out his window, and there was the gecko. What are you doing here? It's the middle of the night. Go back to your home. Go to sleep, the chief said. The gecko said, I can't sleep. The fireflies are all around my house. Their lights are going on and off, on and off, on and off, all night long, and I can't sleep. You're the chief. You must do something about it. And the chief said, okay, I'll talk to the fireflies tomorrow. You go back and go to bed. So grumpily, he went back to his home. Gecko, gecko. Next day, the chief had an audience with the fireflies. He said, fireflies, is it true that your lights are going on and off all night long and you're keeping Gecko from getting any sleep? And they said, well, yes, we have to have our lights going on and off all night long because buffalo drops manure in the road. And if we weren't there with our lights, people would step in the poop. And she said, well, thank you for doing that. So you just keep doing what you're doing then. And the next night, Gecko was underneath the chief's window again. Gecko, gecko. The chief got up and says, Gecko, why are you here? You should go back and go to bed. He says, well, the fireflies are still going on and off at night. And the chief explained to him that, well, the buffalo drops his manure in the road and the fireflies are there giving light so people don't step in it. And he said, well, you're the chief. Talk to the buffalo. So the chief said, okay, I'll talk to the buffalo. The gecko went home. The next day, the chief had an audience with the buffalo. So why is it that we're dropping manure in the road? You know, the fireflies have to light the road up at night. And they said, well, because the rain comes down and it creates big holes in the road, and I'm filling the holes. It was an early public works. I'm filling the holes so that people don't step in the holes. And he says, okay, buffalo, very good. Keep doing what you're doing. The next night, the gecko was below the chief's door. Gecko, gecko. Chief came and, Gecko, go back to bed. You need to sleep. And Gecko says, well, the fireflies are still there. So he explained to them that the people needed to have manure in the holes so that they wouldn't step in the holes and trip. And he said, well, and the holes were made by the rain. So Gecko said, well, go talk to the rain. You're the chief. Do something about it. Do we have any county supervisors here today? We have lots of important people. Go do something about it. So the next day, the chief went to the rain and said, you're raining in the road and creating these holes, and now the buffalo has to fill up with manure, and the fireflies are going on and off all night. The gecko can't sleep, and I'm getting tired myself. And the rain says, well, no, I must come every afternoon, rain hard, create puddles, because if there are no puddles, then there are no mosquitoes. And if there are no mosquitoes, the gecko has nothing to eat. Okay, rain, keep doing what you're doing. So the next night, the gecko was there, Gecko, and the chief explained to him the whole process. Right? The fireflies have to light the way so that people don't step in the manure, which is covering the holes. And the holes have to be there because there needs to be puddles for the mosquitoes, and if there are no mosquitoes, you have nothing to eat. What do you think about that? And the gecko thought about it. And then the gecko went home. He closed his shutters, he closed his eyes, and he went to sleep. And the fireflies stayed out there, lights going on and off and on and off. Because there are just some things that you have to put up with. Thank you for listening to my story.